Alright. Welcome back to the Salt Mines, everybody, where we delve into the salty experiences of StarCraft nerds on the ladder. Because remember, the more you sacrifice your social experiences in order to be a top dog in the most competitive real-time strategy game in the world, the more salty you get when things don't go your way. Already, though, we've got some nice manners to start off. SoCal up here in the top right has said, good luck, have fun. The red Zerg player. And their opponent, Krestaridiak, in the bottom left says, oh, you too, mate. Well, they just said you too, but nonetheless quite friendly. And is going for an early extractor trick. This looks like a 15 hatchery build, but the drone moves across the map. Okay, interesting build order from Krestaridiak. I thought we were going to see a Serral fan, but no, it's just an extractor trick just to get one extra drone out a little bit earlier. Enter 18 supply. Bit of a weird build from Krestaridiak. SoCal's going for a more standard 16 hatchery opening, a bit more old school. Now, I am hoping personally that we get to see a bit more of a departure from the last few weeks. For those who don't know, the last few weeks of the Salt Mines were a bit different. And last week, we actually found a thread from one of our regular Salt Mines players trying to create their own league to avoid all the high APM smurfs on the ladder. And that was a journey into a different realm of understanding. That was really something I have not seen before. But even the week before that, we saw a player, the majority of that episode was a player who won a game shouting at the opponent after game for 20 minutes straight. I mean, we delved deep into the levels of insanity, and I'm almost hoping that today we just get some more basic things. Now, sus. Okay, so SoCal's like, hey, that was sus. What the hell was that? What were you doing? I think SoCal thinks they're getting Spine Crawler rushed because Drone Scout is very rare in this matchup. But they see now with the Overlord, the drone's just going home. And indeed, it was just a Drone Scout for Krestaridiak, who has taken a very late hatchery. It's 14 seconds later than their opponent's 16 hatch. 16 hatch is normally the slower of the hatcheries. That's kind of wild. A minute and 4 second hatchery. Dark would be proud. But Krestaridiak's doing a great job of droning, so it's still going to be a pretty damn good game in terms of the even economy in the early stages, whichever way it goes. I kind of am hoping just for almost like a return to the really basic stuff. Like, I didn't lose. You lost because you did the wrong strategy. You're racism. I wouldn't mind balance complaints. Balance complaints in mirror matchups are one of my favorites. Krestaridiak's going for a very quick Roach Warren. That is a big sign of aggression if I've ever seen one. Then again, we are in the 69 APM range of ladder, so you never really know. Logical scouting reads aren't always the thing. SoCal comes in with a scout, sees the hatchery, pulls the Overlord back. This Overlord for Krestaridiak's in a bit more of a dangerous position. Very, very close there. Does have good vision on the front for now, but could get killed by a queen if he doesn't watch out. And you can see these two queens popping out. Link speed on the way, pulling two workers off gas. So SoCal's doing a very standard quick third hatchery into Zerglings. The problem they're going to run into is there's already Link speed on the way on the other side and Roach Warren as well. Oh, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. The Lings are going to come in, though. There's a scout for SoCal. I think SoCal's going to see this. Okay, so SoCal sees the Roach Warren and Link speed upgrading. These are massive tells of aggression right now. There was a drone trying to fight there, funnily enough. This drone and queen are both on patrol, guys. Wait, does this player use patrol instead of attack move? In really, really old RTS games 25 years ago, some of them didn't have an attack move. Age of Empires, for instance. So you had to use patrol to simulate an attack move. So right now, Krestaridiak is patrolling their own base with a drone that's not mining and not injected, going across the map with a bunch of roaches. 3 roaches, 8 Zerglings. They've got 8 more roaches coming in behind it. This is not a particularly synced up attack. And SoCal did see these units leave, but I don't know if SoCal's realized, because SoCal's walling off with 2 Evos and a Roach Warren and building more drones. SoCal! Oh my god, I don't think SoCal realizes what's happening. Krestaridiak's getting ready to attack on the front, but doesn't really have gas for a Ravager Morph. There's a tactic in Zerg vs. Zerg, guys. You're meant to hide all your units and explode across the map. SoCal is instead doing that. I'm going to show you units moving across a few at a time. Don't get me wrong, guys. In Modern Warfare, you can't avoid this because there's satellites. They can see your units stacking up on the border or whatever. But in this particular case in StarCraft, it's like basically sending 10 soldiers at a time to meet up outside your opponent's city before declaring war. And your opponent's like, hey, buddy, why are there 10 soldiers outside the walls from your military? Why are there 20? Now there's 100. Now there's 1,000. You're like, don't worry about that. Meanwhile, of course, you're giving them as much time to get ready as possible. Roach Warren's going to go down, though. Krestaridiak is going to come in with a pretty big snipe here. That's pretty darn effective, mate. Queens could be taking some big damage as well. Oh me, oh my, watch out, mate. The queen does go down, the other queen as well. Uh-oh, this could be massive damage. SoCal is up 16 workers. They can lose almost all these drones and still be okay. I think the drones maybe should have fought there. They could have got a pretty good surround. Roach Warren's trying to be rebuilt. Roaches are trying to fight right now. Chris Rudiak needs to fight the roaches, but runs past and clicks on the queen. Absolutely appallingly bad micro, and is still on patrol move. Why are you using patrol? Oh my god, 100% it's Chris Rudiak who rages in this game. There is no way someone can be this out of touch using mechanics from 25 years ago and not be delusional. There's no way. Their attack did get stopped. They killed a lot of workers. They could have actually won the game potentially, or killed a lot more if they didn't run past the roaches and drones and attack the queen. But now more roaches coming in from behind. A 4-worker advantage and a hatchery advantage for SoCal, but way down on army supply. There's roaches here. There's a lot of lings coming in. If those lings can get here before these roaches go down, that'll be good. Chris Rudiak once again on patrol move. The lings are not helping though. The lings are just clicking into the natural. All the roaches get cleaned up in the bottom. The lings are splitting into the main and the natural right now. Clicking on the spawning pool. No, you gotta fight the enemy units, mate. You can't be clicking on a spawning pool. That's not even the important structure. It's the Roach Warren that is allowing him to build the optimal fighting units right now. Oh my god, this is so bad. Oh no. There's a lot of negative micro in this game, guys. I really feel if Chris Rudiak just attack moved, or even the patrol move. Patrol move's not that bad. As long as your units don't start running backwards, it does the same thing effectively as A move. It's just funny to see. It's even funnier because I almost guarantee you Chris Rudiak is using standard hotkeys, not grid or anything else, and patrol is P. So they're reaching all the way across their keyboard doing this each time they want to do patrol move, just like that. I mean, this is high level play. This is the sort of play you do after hitting some of that Pineapple Express. It's a special time. More roaches and lings are coming. Chris Rudiak has 1 move, 1 speed, and that is go. Some people say that Chris Rudiak's style is a little bit bipolar, but Chris Rudiak's like, mate, I've got roach blood. I'm bi-winning. And is going to go in there and show them. Uh-oh, here we go. That's too many roaches, though. SoCal's ahead on army supply now. Has +1 range on the way. Is even building a baneling nest just to try to add some banelings to deal with the Zergling flood that's coming in behind it. If SoCal can defend this third, they are miles ahead. Even without it, they're up 12 drones. They've pretty much got this game in the bag. Chris Rudiak is running out of steam here. Is going to click on the hatchery while there's an army standing right there. Chris Rudiak's like, oh, I'll just click on the hatchery. It doesn't. You're going to throw away your entire army. There's no way any of these units get home. That is an entire army for a hatchery. You're still down 17 workers, and SoCal is basically just going to win the game now. Here it comes. L. Oh, are we calling them a loser? With the shape of an L on his forehead. Yeah, Chris Rudiak coming out here. SoCal drops the question mark. He's like, what do you mean L? What's L? And Chris Rudiak, I'm sure, is about to divulge the inner workings of their very functional brain here. After rallying Roachling at your opponent mindlessly for 8 minutes, microing it terribly, picking your fights poorly, I mean, I think some rage is justified. Take the L, kid! I love when people call someone kid in an argument. It's such a low-tier way of trying to patronize your opponent. Lol, really, says SoCal. SoCal just got the biggest smile on their face. They're like, are you kidding me? They're like, oh, I didn't realize I was hitting the jackpot today. I gotta go. You lost, bro. Oh, that was beautiful, Chris Rudiak. You know what? The last 2 minutes of this game, a lot of players would have felt their heart sink. They would have said, oh no, I'm losing. They would have, damn it, I thought I had a chance. I thought I almost had him. And they start to kind of slowly, you know, they go in denial, but then there's anger, then acceptance. There's the whole stages of grief. Chris Rudiak bypassed the entire stages of grief and said, you know what? All that matters in this game is if I kill this hatchery, I win. Ignoring the fact that you're still on even basis, down 13 workers, and you just sacrificed a giant army. Look at the units lost tab to do it. Chris Rudiak goes, I won the game. I won the game. I love it. You do that, and then you just bring out the, you lost. Take the L, kid. I gotta go. I won. And in Chris Rudiak's mind, they won because they achieved the goal. Number one, reframing the goalpost. This is the best thing you guys, girls, can do to enjoy StarCraft ladder. Change the goal. And then if your opponent refuses to leave after you hit that goal, they're basically doing the Terran equivalent of lifting buildings. And you won. They're just a loser who's wasting your time. All right, and despite needing to... All right, and despite having to go somewhere very quickly, Chris Rudiak immediately follows up the match with a post-game message saying, you loser! Lol, dude, you literally lost. Like, you tried an all-in and it failed, man. Don't speak to me, you cuck. Don't freaking speak to me! Are you mad, my man? You lost, it happens, bro. Bro, stop talking to me. You don't have a VPN. Stop speaking to me, you're a loser. I mean, you started talking to me, so I'm not sure why it's getting you all worked up, buddy. I'll kill you. You're not allowed to talk to me. Well, first you gotta beat me at StarCraft, buddy. I saw your house. You're a loser. Well, there's an easy fix in case you don't want to hear me, mate. You live near me. Oh, I might come say hello. I'll teach you how to block communication with the player. It might save you just a little bit of stress in future, mate. I'm bringing a knife, bitch. Oh, actually, sorry, that's a bit... Bitterker. Bitterker, if we're being accurate to the spelling. You bitterker. Are you bringing a cake too? I prefer a carrot cake, but you know, chocolate's all right too. Chocolate's cool too. Wow, I found a lot about you, you loser. Well, you already know I like carrot cake, so I think that says enough about me as a person. What's your preference, man? Oh, I'm bringing a knife, you cuck. So I guess I'm bringing the cake then. See you soon, buddy. And no doubt, Crestradiac did actually have a very important business arrangement to get to. I'm sure he's a very high-powered, successful individual and did go off on their merry way then. Little did they realize, they probably just gave SoCal the most memorable and hilarious game that they had in that entire ladder session. All right. Well, after that disaster, let's go into the next game. We've got AA Toss in the bottom left, who is actually playing Zerg, not Protoss, and their opponent in the top right is Cutie Club's Savitium, the Terran player in the top right. And this is going to be a 12 pool to start off, which is not a good build versus Terran because they can wall their base off. But it's so unexpected, and a lot of Terrans don't scout. Sometimes it catches us off guard, does good damage. I have fallen victim to it many a time. But I mean, let's just digest that Salt Theater at the end of that last game. I mean, that was interesting. This seems to be the modern age of you know, it used to just be you're a cuck, I banged your mum. I banged your mum, I banged your mum, I banged your sister. She was ugly, but I banged her anyway just to embarrass you. You know, this was the kind of range of insults we used to see back in the day. Nowadays, a very common one is the you're not using a VPN, I can see where you live, I'm coming to cause real physical harm to you. And it really is truly basically just hoping your opponent doesn't understand, I guess, that you can't find someone's address or anything through a VPN, and also the random guy on the internet isn't actually going to come to your house. You know, who knows, 99.9% of the time. Don't get me wrong, we've all dreamt of that, what was it, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or whatever, where they go and find the people talking crap on their movie at the end and go and just fly around the country, like beating them up, being like, hey, who are you? Are you Nerf Herder 69? And the guy's like, yeah, and then just like beat him up. And you're like, yeah, don't get me wrong, we've all dreamt of that. But a guy who beats you in a ladder game, yeah, not so much. I really, it's like you're trying to get in the subconscious of your opponent that the part's like, but maybe they can. I've only seen hacking in computers of movies, and there's just like random lines of code on the screen, and they basically make magic happen. And you're like, yeah, maybe. Anyways, we can digest and think more about it. I think it's honestly very low tier. I like creative comebacks that I'm going to come and hurt you and that sort of stuff, kill you, blah, blah, blah. It's just so... It's tired. It doesn't strike me as creative at all. But anyways, it is what it is. Savitium's getting hit here, has built a second depot, and can go back to the high ground. Now, the Lings could target the command center if you don't pull any more SCVs down to keep building it, but AA Toss just keeps chasing the Reaper rather than clicking the command center. AA Toss, there's a big juicy target right there. It's got 500 hit points only. You could kill it so quickly. But AA Toss doing a 12 pull in the matchup that it's very bad for, and it's just going to damage a few depots instead. Oh, that was a very bad opening for AA Toss. You're like, I delayed building time on the command center. New SCV is going to come down and build it. Good response from Cutie Club. AA Toss is now building a Roach Horn with only 10 drones on minerals in the main. Almost no economy. Oh, this is a Zerg player who's basically like, I'm just going to throw really bad waves of aggression at you and hope that you kind of just get thrown off your build and mess up the basics, because this should absolutely not work. Now, to be fair, Savitium's going for a third command center, which you absolutely do not need against a player on 13 drones, banking all their money in lava to go all in with roaches about a minute from now. This might actually be kind of hard to deal with, but Tech Lab on the factory. If Savitium builds a tank, probably the easiest hold of all time. If they don't have a bunker or a tank, they may actually die simply because they are not Reaper scouting and they do not realize just how all in the Zerg player is. This is going to be something truly, excuse me, truly special, I say as I burp into my microphone like an absolute savage. What? Oh my god, is this meant to be a fake transfer? Okay, so Aetos is like, if a Reaper comes in, I need to pretend I actually have economy here. So I'm going to transfer to the natural. And it's like, but your roaches are the first thing they're going to see, which is kind of going to give away what you're doing. And now builds one more drone? What are you doing, mate? You've got to get going. You just spent all your money on army. You got to get going. You can't just sit at home. This is my favorite thing about low-level play. It's when players do all-ins, but they don't realize that they're all in. You know, it's like they have so little self-awareness. Like, I'm literally just building army and nothing else. I'm now going to sit at home with that army. And you're like, you don't understand the most basic tenet of StarCraft economy, do you? You're just like, you just do random things at random times. Like, now droning and overlords have started behind this, which is hilarious. And there's a spore crawler behind them. Mate, you think you need to defend liberators right now? Dude, you're on 17 workers. Killing a drone is disastrous for your economy. Oh, this is so bad. There is a tank on the high ground, by the way, Marines and a Viking. This is the easiest hold of all time for Savidium. Even without the bunker finish, they'll be fine, but I think that bunker's gonna finish. 3, 2, oh, it will finish. And look at that, man. Those roaches getting hammered. They're gonna run past the bunker to deny the non-existent mining on the natural. Not a big deal at all. Funnily enough, SCVs are being pulled down. But there's another second siege tank here. Trying to morph Ravagers behind the mineral line. Way to dump 400 gas into the meat grinder. They do have a lot of armor, these cocoons, but look how much they're getting hammered by the marine tank. Even the mules and the SCVs pull back. That's game over, man. Aetos is not very good at this video game. They are throwing some very weak aggression with no follow-ups to the opponent. But of course, GG, you Bronze League player is what they're saying. GG, Bronzer. GG, Bronzer. Savidium says, a laugh out loud, the LOL. GG, Wood Leaguer. Instantly wrecks him. Instantly. It's like, mate, if you lost to a Bronze Leaguer, that means you're worse. What? You are bronze, says Aetos. They're not understanding. They're too stupid. They need to explain to them. Savidium says, well, I beat you, so that makes you... Connect the dots. You know how it works, right? The winner is better. Cutie Club is using logic. Man, that is your league, says Aetos. That is your league. They're not saying bronze isn't their league. They're simply saying it doesn't matter what league they are, because right now in this interaction, they are better than you. Which means you must be lower than Bronze League, you must be Wood League. There is no getting around the logic of this argument, Aetos. You set yourself up for failure for the start. Anytime you insult the skill level of somebody that you're losing to, you kind of are owning yourself. It's slam dunking yourself. It's basically walking into the ring. You're in there. It's an influencer boxing match, and you go for the most meta play of them all. You just start punching yourself in the crotch repeatedly, going, ha ha, ha ha. It's a psychological tactic. It's kind of like throwing a dart blindfolded. And you're just hoping that your opponent is really embarrassed about the league they're in, and you're trying to latch on to that, some insecurity, something where you get the voice inside their head where they start to doubt themselves. But as Savidium clearly doesn't seem to care and seems to understand the nature of competitive games, that it's like, well, it's me versus you, and I'm beating you. That's all that matters. I don't think they found the blindfolded bullseye in this particular scenario. Now, Savidium's push actually sucks, guys. This is a terrible push. There's 4 tanks of like 11 Marines. It's not a good push. They really should be focusing on their macro. They scan a few times. Aetos says, scan noob. Now you're just stating the moves your opponent's doing and attaching noob to it. This is the truly lowest tier of Salt I have ever seen. I'm loving it. Today is like low tier Salt. Really, like we are in the absolute depths of humanity. Not in terms of like, sometimes I say depths of humanity in terms of like they're an evil, foul person. No. This is depths as in like these people are they're barely even human. Like these people have not evolved out of the animal kingdom. They have not evolved beyond single-celled bacteria level of intelligence. We are talking about players who are absolutely, I hate to say it, but there's a bit of damage in the cranial region. I don't know what else I can say. Some people might take offense at that, but let's be real. It's accurate in this scenario. So video here with the Marines and the tanks on the low ground. Is he going to pick up a tank and move it to the high ground? The Marines attack their own siege tank there, but the Roaches, the Lings, and the Queens are killing the Marine before it can kill the tank. The Queen manages to kill the Marine just before it can kill its own siege tank. That is actually a pretty Bronze League mood there. Aetos says, remain in Brions. Man, I love a bit of a brioche, by the way. And look, oh, Cividium says thanks, it starts tank dropping. Oh, Cividium is like, get out, get out, get out of my game. It's just dropping the siege tank up and down, man. I'm loving it so far. This is like the episode of people really just reveling in their opponent's salt and enjoying it. Aetos says, and get cancer in response to the thanks. And let's be real, guys. Aetos, I'm giving a 2 out of 10 for originality. I'm giving a 1 out of 10 for logic, but I am giving a 10 out of 10 for actually destroying themselves with their very first your bronze. Now they're going for, oh, they're going from bad to just super generic, you piece of shit noob. And then of course they leave the game. That was really low tier, but almost comical in how bad it was. And of course, it doesn't end there, guys. Aetos messages after the game and says, fucking Bronze League peasant. Except they spelt it wrong, so it's P-cent. You freaking Bronze League P-cent. And he responds with, GG. Get cancer, piece of shit. Sorry, mate, you already said that one. Oh, and it's going to go in. Oh my God, they're going to go in for even more fishing here and say, are you available for coaching, mate? Oh, I'm going to shit on your mother's grave. How much do you charge for coaching? For you, never. I would never coach you. But how will I ever be a salty man boy if you don't teach me how? Where is your mother buried? Wait. Their response is, give me your fax number. Implying they're going to send them their mother's burial site. They just need to give them their fax number. And this is actually so good. I feel like this has been the episode of people responding so well because there is something about basically going in like this and just kind of saying to yourself, I am going, they're just grasping at straws and saying inane, insane, crazy things right now that lack any meaning. We're going to out-random them with give me your fax number. And there's just something poetic about your opponent saying, I'm going to shit on your mother's grave, tell me where she's buried, and responding with give me your fax number. That might be the best comeback that I've heard this entire season of the Salt Mines. Friggin' awesome. Well done, mate. All right, so thank you very much, Cividium, for that one. And if you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to send in your own replays using the link in the description below of people just acting like absolute children and having no emotional control on the ladder and going absolutely insane. If you guys want to support the channel, please consider checking out the Patreon as well. A massive thanks to everyone who's hopped on board. A big thanks to all of you, especially Maxan, our current only conductor of the D-Town Express. And yeah, right now the Leviathan tier is empty as well. So if anyone's absolutely crazy and wants to become a literal gargantuan interstellar beast that using its many tentacles and its virile payload is able to impregnate entire planets and basically make the stream rich and give me a bunch of cash to make more content, check out the Leviathan tier. There's cool rewards for that. Thanks for the support, everyone. See you in the next episode of the Salt Mines, and thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and good night.